Welcome, everybody, to a historic day here at Paul McGinley Field. It's the last ever SCAC game for the men at Paul McGinley Field. I'm Chris Hockman, with me is Scott Lieber. Scott, Trinity ringing the changes for this one a little bit, so we're expecting to see things differently. How do you think today is going to play out for the Tigers?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You know, I got a chance to talk to Coach McGinley right before the game, and he said to me, you know, it's been a long time, been in the SCAC for a long time, and this is the last one. We've had 90 plus games. I don't know how many games they played in the SCAC here over the years, but this is the last one, and he said it's a sentimental one. Anytime you're playing the last of anything, it's going to be a sentimental game, and those sentiments been felt by the team today. But they want to go in, make a statement before they start the SCAC playoffs next week.
Yeah, it's been longer than you've been alive, and almost as long as I've been alive. 36 years in the SCAC for the Tigers comes to an end next week. But in terms of playing here at Paul McGinley Field, this is it. This is the last men's SCAC game. So huge moment. Of course, the title is still on the line, not wrapped up. Colorado College and Trinity come into today, both looking to be co-champions. Or really looking to be outright champions, but you can only control the co part, so you can at least settle for that.
Well, Trinity can only control the co part. I guess.
Yeah, you can only
in terms
control,
of one seed, though.
In terms of one seed, so I'll just run you through those scenarios real quick. So, complicated list of scenarios for the SCAC Championship next week. Top two is secured. That's definitely going to be Trinity and Colorado College. The order could flip. So, if Colorado College concedes 3 goals or more, Trinity will be the number 1. Colorado College will be the number 2. If they don't and they win, Trinity will be number 1. Colorado College will be number 2. We're going to guess that that's not going to happen. It'll be Colorado College 1, Trinity 2. That's fine. Next up, Southwestern win and they are in. If they draw, they're in with a St. Thomas draw or loss. They can even go through with a loss if TLU or Concordia wins their game and St. Thomas doesn't win. TLU, they're in with a win or a draw. Concordia are in with a win. They're in with a draw if Southwestern lose and St. Thomas don't win. And then St. Thomas needs a lot to happen. So St. Thomas can get in. They need to win. They need the TLU Concordia game to be a draw, and they need Southwestern to draw. So the game we're going to be mostly focusing on in the background is the TLU Concordia game, because it's 2 teams in. It's got the biggest implication
for everybody else.
So, but we'll kind of keep you updated on what's happening with seeding. As things stand right now, it would be Trinity playing TLU, and it would be Colorado College playing Concordia. That would be your first set of games in the SCAC Championship next week in Houston. Looks like Manchester United have just scored in the Premier League. So that's your scenario. The tiebreak is goals conceded. That's why we're talking about Colorado College needing to concede 3, because they have 3 fewer goals conceded.
It was 4.
Trinity. It was 4. They conceded 1 last week. So on Friday, I should say. So it has closed, but they are playing an opponent that they are less likely to concede against today, we believe. So we'll see. Anything can happen. You don't play games on paper. So we'll see what happens there. But that's all your crazy, crazy scenarios. It's setting up a heck of a tournament, though. I think there's some really exciting matchups. Whatever combination of teams go through, I'm really excited to see how that goes down at SaberCat Stadium in Houston. Trinity have moved up in the Massey ratings. They are 5th in the Massey ratings. They went up 3. They don't update the NPI mid-weekend, so it'll be updated Monday, Tuesday. They're 13th in that. That's still pretty good. So that is a spot that would probably see them host in NCAA round 1, but we'll see what happens. Of course, they're coming off that 7-0 win against the Ozarks. Centenary have never got a result against Trinity, 18-0. Last match was a 6-1 win for the Tigers. Only players still in this team, Hunter Kang scored in that game. Centenary, their one goal came from Booth, who was a senior, so isn't here today. We're going to do the anthem and then we'll be back with the lineups. We are back. Of course, the anthem reminds us of the freedoms we have. One of those freedoms is to vote. Tuesday. Don't forget if you haven't already. Get out to vote. Can't vote early anymore in Texas. They close it the weekend before the election to sort of organize things. You need a lot more work to get Tuesday ready than you do for early voting. So no early voting this weekend. So if you're in Texas, don't forget Tuesday. It's your last chance to vote. And then let's run through these lineups. So Centenary just make one change from their team. They had a 3-3 draw with Schreiner on Friday. It's in goal. Sebastian Lutin, Guatemala under-17 national team goalkeeper, comes in. And then the rest are the same. Brendan Marto, Dylan Clark, Jacob Ramsey, Nathan Udoji, Carter Webb, Fernando Santos, Hayden McConnell, Christopher Tarr, Emiliano Mondragon, and Aaron Gonzalez. I'm judging by your reaction, Chelsea just equalized.
Yep. Moises Caicedo from distance. We'll take it.
And then the Trinity lineup. 4 changes to Trinity from the team on Friday. Sat Pathy in goal. I don't think it's an unexpected change. Friday was senior night. They gave Joshua Lynch the run. Adam Knutson, Zach Anderson, Louis Install, Ty Jarrett, Samuel Tice comes in for Hunter Kane. Mark Donnelly, Alex Bautov comes in for Will Powell, Luke Mayfield. Luke Chandler comes back from suspension. He replaces Tom Whitwell. And John Connor Rule starting. John Connor Rule had a rare game. He didn't play a ton of minutes on Friday because the game was wrapped up pretty quick from the Tigers. 7-0 win for Trinity. Of course, head coach for the Tigers is Paul McGinley, the 5th winningest coach in D3 history, 8th in all divisions. He completed that on Friday. Went ahead of Horst Richardson, Colorado College. And then Centenary's head coach Kevin White in his 4th season. He's led the team to their D3 era tied record in 2023. They had 6. He's a staff coach for the North Texas State Soccer Association, which is a huge association. North Texas is massive, really big. You've got Dallas in there, but there's just a whole bunch of other areas that are very soccer heavy. He played at UT Dallas. He was playing at UT Dallas the same year as I was in college, 2005. 2005 to, what would that be, 2008? That was my undergrad. 5 to 8. And so teams are ready. You might have noticed while the anthem was playing, the breeze that was hitting the Centenary players' jerseys. It's very windy here today. I think that's going to stick around. The forecast is for a really, really windy day today. So we'll see how much that affects the game. I suspect we're going to see the ball on the ground a lot more than we often do here. But I'm really interested to see how Trinity lines up and how they play this one out, because it is I don't want to say heavily rotated. It's not a B team by any means, but a lot of players that I think they want to have a look at for the future in this lineup.
Yeah, and in a lot of different positions as well. Normally I like to go through before a game and write out where I think everybody's playing in the system. And today, not exactly able to do that because I'm not sure if I can make an assumption going into this game on who's going to play where. Luke Mayfield can play multiple positions. Zach Anderson can play multiple positions. I think Alex Baltov as well can play multiple positions. Ty Jarrett probably can. And that's where, there's a lot of options for Trinity. And I think going into next season, one, but also going into the tournament, you want to know which players you can trust at which times and which positions.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. So it's important. You need depth to get through these stretches, especially because once you get to the NCAA tournament, it's Friday, Saturday. So you're playing back-to-back days. It can really, really strain you. So you need to have depth. And this is really your last chance to look at that depth because from next week on, it's got to be your first team every single
no more
game.
experimenting.
You can't experiment once you get to knockout games. So this is it. This is your last chance. So Centenary, they're in the white. They're going to be going from left to right on your screen for the first half. Trinity are in the black. They're going to be going from right to left. Trinity won the toss and chose to play this way, which doesn't surprise me. They do like playing to that goal in the second half. So that's how they're going. Sun won't really be a factor for the goalkeepers today. That's often why you pick the goal you pick, is so the opposition's goalkeeper has the sun in their eyes. But it's very overcast. It's so overcast we've actually put the lights on today. And we are using, although we always use the high-vis balls in the men's games. But
I think sometimes, though, in an overcast game, the sun really catches you off guard. And
sneaks through.
Exactly. Every once in a while, you're not expecting it either. Can be even more of a factor just in less occasions.
Yeah, it's not the entire half that your goalkeeper's looking into the sun. So, of course, this is a noon kickoff, so the sun's directly overhead anyway. So it affects everybody equally, really. Of course, daylight savings ended, so if you're in some different time zones, you might have been like, wait, hang on. Why is the game late? We went back an hour.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it just
that
does
makes
it
a
automatically.
lot of sense.
You woke up an hour earlier than you thought you were?
No, I don't know. I felt tired this morning.
Yeah, but you shouldn't because you got an extra hour.
Oh. That's weird.
So, because this was fall back. Autumn back doesn't have the same ring to it, so I have to say fall.
They both sound really cool. Fall back, spring forward.
Spring forward, yeah. Yeah, we can do spring forward in Australia, but fall back, I like. And Nathan Odigi up front. Certainly an imposing presence. 6 feet tall, out of Houston. Already we've seen a lot of the ball. This ball comes out to Anderson. Jarrett. Throw in for the Tigers. Goes to Anderson. Anderson squares it. Just hit a little late, so it's going to be a free kick for the Tigers. Frustration from the coaching staff at giving away the foul. Felt that there wasn't a play there that the Tigers were making. He's got a point. They were just kind of squaring it. They weren't going forward. They weren't looking in an especially dangerous situation. And now they've created a more dangerous situation with the free kick.
We saw Trinity score from a similar-ish position on Friday. Great in-swinging ball from Instrel. It's going to be Baltov this time.
Baltov, far post. Keeper claims. He's a good keeper. Here's Sebastian Lutine. He's potentially could hit 100 saves this season. He's on 90 coming into this. That won't count as a save, though. It's just a claim. I think Trinity will be fairly happy with how things have started, although right as I'm saying that. Good recovery there from Luke Chandler.
Good use of the dark arts, I would say, there from Chandler. As a defender, sometimes you got to break the rules a little bit. He extends his arm. I think he didn't have the pace on this player, but he uses his body well. If the referee doesn't see it, and most of the time, something small like that, they're not gonna care very much about it. So really well done, Chandler there. Very smart play.
Well, I know that Paul McGinley spoke to the referees before the game. There's a few players in yellow card trouble.
Yep.
And I think that's true for both teams. Not that it'll necessarily matter for Centenary, but you still don't want to miss the first game of next season. And so he said, let them play, let the game play. I think we saw that maybe backfire a little because there was one that I think often would have been called a foul, but the referee thought, no, I'm going to let him play. Ball falls out for Anderson, who has a go wide.
It's a decent effort. On his left, weaker foot on the volley.
On the volley.
Nearly finds that.
Yeah,
that
I think
far corner.
Lutein had it covered,
Yeah.
but it's a heck of an effort. We're going to get another look at it.
He's not expecting it either.
He's
It kind
not.
of just
It's
pops
cleared
out
out.
to him.
And he takes that touch to set himself up, get balanced, has a go. Yeah, I think if that's on his preferred foot, it's a lot more dangerous because it is going wide basically the whole time. Lutein still does the job. He covers it. He makes sure it's going to be covered if it's somehow. With the wind swirling like this,
You never know.
it could have swung back. So good goalkeeping to keep it covered. Free kick here for Centenary, the Gents. But you can see the wind on the jerseys on the assistant's flag. I think the hardest part is it's a different wind pace, direction, every part of the field. If you keep an eye on the flags by the field, you'll see them all blowing in different directions. Because we often get wind here. It's often coming from the goal to your right over. So Trinity playing with the wind in the first half,
That's
typically. There's an
great.
advantage there too, I think.
It was really good use of the body there from Tights as well. I think the defensive player for Centenary is trying to do exactly what I just said Chandler did. And Tights just won it. Strength, good power from him. Keeps the possession for Trinity.
That does hold up, which is an example of the breeze. It just held up. And just there, goes out for a goal kick in the end anyway. Yeah, on that occasion, though, I think the referee saw it because he did stick out his arm, signaling for an advantage. So played out. Gents going forward. Had some chances to get the ball forward. Have Centenary. That's a free kick. Could have been two, honestly, on that play. So a free kick here for Centenary. A chance to get it forward again. I think if you're Trinity, you don't want to give away set pieces in a dangerous position. Giving them away here is fine. But they've got some tall players. Nathan Udoji is the one you look at most notably that I think's going to be real dangerous on a set piece.
Yeah, and it's not just his height. You said 6 foot. It's not the biggest guy. Ethan Cowdery, 6'7", right? But he's a big presence. He's a big, muscular guy. He's going to use his body well in the box. He's going to be hard to cover, hard to get close to put him off if he gets an opportunity for a header.
Yeah, like that strength is going to be hard to beat. Your defenders are often your strongest player, but Udoji is hitting the gym. And he's a State Cup finalist, which in South Texas is a heck of an achievement. That's the region that San Antonio is in. Shot comes, it's taking a deflection. It's going to be a corner. Deflection probably stops that from being goal. Does catch out Lutein a little bit, but runs out for the corner. I think that was a vital deflection. It would have been a really hard save with the power behind it. We're going to look at it.
Yeah, it's hard to know where that shot's going just because of how quickly that deflection's in there. Sometimes those are really dangerous, though, because a goalkeeper has a good angle. They set their feet. Then the deflection can go anywhere.
Yeah, Lutein would have been stranded, I think, if that was in. A lot of players getting in the way. A lot of bodies there for Centenary. Does the job.
Really well done from Tice to just swivel and get that shot off, even if it is blocked. It keeps Trinity in possession in the end.
Yeah, they keep the possession. It would be hard. Oh, John Connor Rule there, far post. Oh, and he got the touch. That's what he was signaling to the referee, that there was a touch from the defender. So another corner here. John Connor Rule, of course, did score from a corner this on Friday. Well, from the follow-up after a corner, but still counts. Get another look at this. It's a beautiful ball in. Flick on, yeah, it missed Rule and came off the side. So perhaps a well-timed jump from Rule, because it would have maybe been a goal kick. Otherwise, far post again, looking for Rule. Or was that Chandler it ended up hitting? Yeah, it was Chandler behind Rule.
Yeah, just a bit too tall for either of them at the back post. They want to head it back across or tuck it in at that far post.
Which I think, again, is the win,
Yeah.
because in that corner, it's going across the pitch, so it's going to... You have to, when you take that corner, take a little bit off of it, because the wind's going to catch it and take it further than you mean. That's probably what happened here. Head down. Tigers back in control. Right as I say that, though, the Gents get the ball back. Flicked over the top.
Ty's got time. He could carry here.
Yeah, Jarrett on the ball. Big run, like you said. Carry it. Knutson. He's been sitting wider, not cutting in as much today. Now he's back centrally. Knutson just couldn't get the ball out from under his feet. Would have been really dangerous if he could. Through ball's there. Just a little on it.
Yeah,
goes out for a goal kick.
Just gets stuck under his foot a little bit. I think he wants to take it over to his left. Honestly, a guy like Knutson, he wants to take that on his left foot. He's not ashamed or afraid of shooting on his weaker foot. I'm not sure he really has a weaker foot, so he'll take that on his left. Just gets stuck under his right. He has to come back right. Tries to find the pass, just a little too much on it.
Yeah, ambidextrous shooter is Adam Knutson. 13 goals this season, which is half the goals in his career have been scored this season. He is one of the players that could be in yellow card trouble, so something to keep an eye on. Because if he kicks up a yellow, he'll be suspended for the SCAC semi-final on Friday. I want to say it's Friday. I'm pretty sure it's Friday. Again, that's at Sabercat Stadium in Houston. Not many rugby stadiums in the country, but that's one of them. Step over. Shot comes from Baltov.
Good ball.
Goes to Rule. Goes acrobatic, but he was offside. Taking a big divot out too.
It was an interesting effort from Rule there. I don't know that he needed to go acrobatic like that. Maybe
Yeah, we'll have a look.
thought he could have attacked it with his head. He is jostling with a defender there, makes it difficult.
Yeah, I think he got the turn late. Didn't matter anyway, it was offside. So even if he got the header and it went in, it was going to be off. Now the Tigers making that run wide through Mayfield. Wants a switch. Does Jarrett. That's where it's going to go.
It's a great build-up play from Trinity to switch like that.
Now, does he cut back to Anderson? Yes.
Just
But it was a little telegraphed that allowed Brendan Marto to get there.
I think it would have gotten there if it just had a little bit more pace on it.
Flicked back by Chandler. Baltov. Baltov cuts it in far post. It's going to run though. Again, I think it's just another example of the wind shifted. Although no, the wind would have held it in because it just changed. On this side of the pitch, it's blowing in. On the other side of the pitch, it's also blowing in. They're somehow blowing in both goals.
I think Baltov's playing the Will Powell role today. Typically an outside back, that's his natural position, but he's playing in a center attacking midfield role. It's going to see him get wide in attack, play almost like a winger. It's what Will Powell's been doing recently towards the end of the season.
Appeals to the Trinity bench there for a handball. Did come off his hand, but in 2024, hands are right by his side. If that's in the box, you'd call it different. But in the middle of the field, that's not how that rule is interpreted. There's the Centenary women's team right on halfway. They'll be here for the first half and they'll go get ready. Back, Sat Pathy. Pressure came from Udoji. Flicked over the top. Controlled by Clark. Clark goes, well, that's a beautiful ball for Amato. Just couldn't control it. But it was perfectly to him. Just maybe too much pace on it for him to handle. Switch from Knutson, but it's just kind of stuck in the middle, goes out for a throw-in. Again, just the wind is so swirly that it's just so hard to weight these things because it'll change halfway through your pass. Throw in for Centenary. For Doji, goes out for a throw.
You know, one thing I'm noticing with Centenary is I don't really know if they have a strict formation and attack. To me, it's looked like all of their 4 or 5 attacking options between wingers, center forward, midfielders who are getting forward, they're rotating consistently. You know, a minute ago I had one person on the wing, now he goes to the other wing. He comes back into center mid, he comes forward. It's hard to keep track of who's trying to play where, and I don't know that they're necessarily trying to play specific positions in attack.
Yeah, it's the old total football.
Yep.
From the Dutch of the 70s, best team to have never won the World Cup.
No, and it's especially a good strategy going forward in today's modern game. You can't necessarily do it in defense because, like we've talked about, defenses have to be super organized. But in attack, it's a great strategy because the modern game requires players to rotate and play really tactically smart. And so far, that's what I'm seeing with Centenary going forward.
Throw in here for the Tigers in the attacking third. No shots on target yet, but Trinity are huffing and puffing. Thrown in for Knutson. Waits for some options. Goes himself. Can cut it back. He's going to settle for a corner, though. I think he was looking to cut that back for Anderson on the edge of the area. No, not a corner. It was a... Yes, corner. Sorry. Everybody looked like they were going back for a goal kick for a second.
Look to see if they take the short corner on this one. Last one didn't go well when they whipped it into the back post with the wind. Defended well. There's a defender there. Once you get in 10 yards, it's the same thing as a free kick. You can't come any closer.
Good run there from Rule. Goes further back, but it's already gone out by the time he hits in.
I think that's a good adjustment from Rule after the last one, which was a little too deep for both him and Chandler, who kind of got in each other's way a little bit as well. Good adjustment, just maybe a little bit too much spin on that one. And again, the wind factor maybe pushes that time a little bit closer to the goal, ends up putting it out of play. Next one, for all we know, it could be blown away from the goal and put it more back in towards the box.
Kevin Husky Jr. coming in for the Gents. First-year midfielder out of Dallas. He might also be interested in the game you're interested in because Paul Pogba is his favorite athlete.
Just got reinstated.
He did. Yeah, presumably not his favorite athlete because of why he was not allowed to play. But every time someone lists Lance Armstrong in that stat, I'm like, interesting.
Do people list Lance Armstrong in that stat?
I don't think they do
today?
anymore. But people were doing it not that long. Like, after we knew.
Yeah.
I'm like,
My dad was a big Lance Armstrong fan, and then all of a sudden one day the magnet of Lance Armstrong that was on our fridge just disappeared, and I never knew why until years later.
I was never an Armstrong fan. That was the era, though. I'm not giving him an out. He shouldn't have done it.
No.
Chance here. In some space. Just again, the ball getting stuck in things.
Yep.
Should point out, rained a lot yesterday.
Yeah.
There was a lot of rain yesterday, so this pitch is heavier than it has been. Saw a good example of it there. Oh, big chance here. That's the fresh legs. Satpathy slides out beautifully. Huge save from Omkar Satpathy.
That's an unbelievably important moment from Omkar Satpathy. I don't know if you count it as a save or a tackle,
yeah, it's a tackle,
but it's brilliant from him. He's 1v1. That player gets beyond him. It's a goal.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
You got to, like, I say this all the time, you got to come or not come. Like, that has to be the choice you make as a goalkeeper. Satpathy made his choice, committed to it. Beautiful sliding challenge. He knows if he gets that wrong, it's a red card or it's a goal.
Yep.
Or it's both.
It's an interesting one. They try to go through him. Typically with that one, you can just tap it to the side. Doesn't even have to be putting yourself in a good position almost. As long as you're going for the ball, then you get around him. You can shoot from 40 yards out with no goalkeeper there.
Yeah, I'll give Husky a bit of a pass on that because he did still have a defender close enough that if he taps it around him, maybe the defender recovers. It's
true.
It wasn't a true one-on-one, but it was enough that Satpathy, I think, had to come, made the right decision. But
Yeah, if he hadn't
have
come,
like
I
that.
think he would have been caught in no man's land.
Like with the speed, he was going to
Yep.
outpace that defender, and so he had to come.
Yeah, but I think Sapathi keeps the defender in the game by coming, because if he waits, I think he's going to get away from him. But by coming, he keeps the defender involved in that decision.
A great substitution there to bring on Kevin Husky. First touch of the ball, and it's probably the best chance we've seen today. We're going to look at this. This is a stunning bit of work. So you'd have to tap it to the right,
I
which
think
is
he's-
where
Yeah.
Sapathi's covering.
That's what I was thinking. Tap it right. Donnelly's on that left shoulder. Just tap it, honestly, almost square. Doesn't have to tap it very much, but if you just tap it square, let Omkar Sapathi's momentum take him out of the play, and then you can shoot from 40 yards. It's asking a lot of a player who's going at full speed, though.
Player goes down. Free kick. But yeah, the Gents have their tails up right now after that opportunity.
Yeah, big moment in the game.
Huge. I mean, that was by far the clearest chance I think we've seen so far today. It's a huge, huge moment, huge save from Sapathi. Won't count statistically as a save, but it's great goalkeeping nonetheless. Still scoreless between Concordia and Texas Lutheran.
This is a great run from Luke Mayfield. He got brought down fairly, but ended up on the ground and then got up, and now there's a chance.
Keeper had to let that go too because
Yeah.
he was sliding out of the box. And so Trinity going to make some changes. I see Baltov coming off for Will Powell, which isn't unsurprising. We're going to look at this here from this angle. I think this is going to be a great angle to see why the keeper does what they have to do.
No,
he doesn't
goes
even
for
get it. He doesn't even get
It's
it.
the defender. I think he wants it, to be honest. I think he wants that ball, and defender just takes it off of him. That's just one of communication.
That's communication. You've got to
That's
communicate
risky.
better than that.
Because if that defender takes that touch, it falls to a Trinity shirt. Goalkeeper's out of position there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a real problem.
It's a good chance there for Trinity. Just not enough power on that second header, and that would be asking a lot of Tice. It's hard to generate power from a header like that, especially, Rule takes a lot off of it here with the header back in. You see it's kind of lofted. Just can't get enough power on it. It's well placed.
So currently every matches that we're talking about is still scoreless, although the Colorado College game has not kicked off because they're at home, so it's noon Mountain Time, which now is different because they don't have daylight savings. Shot comes. Oh, it's a great save from Lutine. Not just to get there, but to hold it.
Yeah.
It's great goalkeeper because that was a golden opportunity for the Tigers to take the lead.
Yeah, great effort from Hunter Kane with the Travella, trying just to whip it into that far post, or near post, I should say.
Just beautiful ball to find Kane, too. He's wide open, has a chance.
Yeah, and he's a left-footed player. So if he's shooting from that side, naturally, it's going to spin away from that far post. That's why he hits it with the outside of his boot, because he wants to use his dominant foot to shoot to that far side, but he also wants it to whip in. That's going to get a different spin on it. It's a good effort from Kane.
Yeah, Lutine, definitely a goalkeeper to watch. He's only a first-year goalkeeper, but he's played almost every game for the Gents this season. He's a Guatemala under-17 national team player. I would not be surprised to see some under-20 call-ups added to that list because he's still under-20. No shot. And then potentially down the line, play for the full Guatemala national team. What an honor that would be. Showing his skills. He's been a big part of the Gents' success this year. Made 96. He's made 90 saves this season. He's on to 92 now. Knutson controls. Back for Instrel. Instrel goes wide. That's Powell, fresh legs on.
He'll want to take on a defender here.
Yeah, he slowed down to wait for the defender to arrive so he could take him on.
Oof.
Instrel's open. Squares it again. Oh, Lutine called, and then they just kind of left it there. but didn't let Lutine get it.
Yeah, it's communication issues again at the back.
It seems clear to me that Lutine is talking because he's left it.
Whoa,
Great shot!
what a save.
Great save. Full stretch, Sebastian Lutine.
I mean, that takes a special save because that was some shot. But Lutine, this is unbelievable stuff. I mean, you're leaving, that's too much space to be given a player in that type of position. What a save.
Fingertip save, Lutine.
Really, really saves his defenders there because they were not marking the way they needed to be marking.
Which is probably like the third time that's happened. All three of the shots. Moves him up to 93 saves a season. Corner's coming for Rule, gets the header! You cannot give someone a free header in the box like that on a corner kick. That was just wide open for John Connor Rule.
Lutine was ready again, though.
Again,
It looks simple,
right
but
spot.
it's great positioning from him. One thing I'll say
should not
here,
have two defenders going up for that
No.
header.
I'll say, though, with the positioning of Lutine coming across to that far side, if Rule, instead of heading it on target, puts it back across goal, it's a tap-in finish at the back post.
Yeah, a lot of decisions you have to make in less than a second. But yeah, Lutine, smart goalkeeper because he's closed down that angle for Rule. It's made it a much harder shot for Rule, which means then Rule has to decide to square it, but he's got to make that decision
beforehand, and he might not even know that Lutine's all the way over there yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He's got to make that adjustment as it's happening, right? So.
And that header back across is much harder because there's defenders in the way.
Kept in well by Knudsen. Does a switch. Powell's going to keep it in. Still stays in, though. But Will Powell had
did not
made his way into the stands. Offside. Forced the defensive action, so that is offside. So call from the benches for Powell to get higher. Felt he was too deep. I think he needed to come back to get the ball, though. And then the reason he wasn't higher was because he was trying to not completely stack it into the concrete stand. So.
Well, it's interesting. Powell said it before with Baltov that he was playing in Powell's role, which has been the attacking midfield, sort of winger in attack role recently. But when Powell's come in, he's not gone back to that position. Daniel Tice has dropped back, or Sam Tice. Daniel Tice is a old Celtics basketball player. Tice has dropped back.
That might be related.
Maybe. But Tice has dropped back to that attacking midfield role. Powell's back in that wingback role, which is where he started the season. But that's not going to get him as high as normal. So you're asking a lot of Powell if you want him to be as high as he's been playing in that attacking midfield role, but you're also giving him more defensive responsibilities, having him play that wingback role.
Yeah, because they've definitely set him up as the wingback. Well, we can see it right in front of us. It's not on the screen right now, but you'll see him, number 22. He's playing that right wide defender, wingback sort of role. Doji beaten on a header when he's got a good half a foot on the player he's marking him.
And it's hard to get close to him.
Yeah, it's just his imposing presence, like you've been saying. Like, man definitely gets to the gym. You can see his shirt, his arms, the cuff on his jersey is very tight. So he's not skipping those weight days by any means. Impressive player. Got a real physical presence. Free kick there. Every game still scoreless. Well, the games that matter. I'm not looking at the other games. But every game that matters for the SCAC tournament is scoreless right now. Which basically keeps everything as it is. So, as we were at the start of the day, that would put Trinity against TLU. And that would put Concordia and St. Thomas out.
Randy, drop. Randy, 5 yards. Right there. Stop.
Who did Concordia play on Friday? I feel like that game had a big result, if I'm remembering.
Yeah, they beat
correct.
Southwestern, I think.
Yeah.
Which put the actually.
Or did Southwestern beat them, which put Southwestern in a good position?
I think it was Southwestern.
Because I think I thought it was that Concordia were in this really good situation, and then they lost to Southwestern.
Yeah, I don't have that on my list.
Big weekend of games for those teams, though.
Huge weekend. I mean, Concordia, what a weekend they're having. What a season they're having, too.
It'd be unfortunate for them. They'd feel like they're unlucky if they don't make it. I think Powell does one too many cuts there. I think he had Cade Dugan. Yeah. Dugan was right there, top of the box, unmarked. Paul McGinley just called from the sideline. Cade, open your mouth. He wants him to call for that ball, have a strike from there. Would have been a good one, like first-time effort if Powell found him. But Powell just makes another move looking for the cross, and that's another important save.
It looked like it moved late.
I think it took a deflection on the way in off of a back of a Centenary defender.
It was Southwestern 3, Concordia 1 was the score on Friday. That was the one. Yeah, it was the order you're thinking. Concordia went from in to out. Was what happened with that one. So as things are, they will be out. That's a beautiful bit of work for Knutson, who has a go. Just couldn't get his boot around it enough.
Yeah, he's going for power. He wants to rifle that into the far post. And sometimes with a great goalkeeper like this, we've seen it earlier in the half, opportunities from a similar position. He's made the save. Knutson may be thinking, I have to get more power on this. Goes for the power, lacks the placement a little bit. Sometimes you have to make a decision between the two.
We have a goal in one of the games that matters, and it might not be a goal people were expecting. Austin College have taken the lead against the University of St. Thomas, which is about as bad as it could possibly be for St. Thomas, because St. Thomas need to win and need results to go their way. If they don't win, they're out. So as things stand, St. Thomas certainly out. They need at least 2 goals to get back into this, and they need results to change to get back into this. So they are in a spot of bother, St. Thomas. I believe that was in the 8th minute that we saw a goal there. Yep. Austin College 1.
Wow.
St. Thomas 0. Doesn't change anything right now, but it does make it a much harder path for St. Thomas all of a sudden.
Reigning SCAC champs.
The reigning SCAC champs might not even make the tournament that they are hosting. Also out there at Sabercat Stadium again. Beautiful facility. Professional rugby stadium. Ball going out wide here. Oh, Akiti, yeah. I'm pulling up Akiti's stats.
He's got a high number.
Yeah, he does have a high number, which means I have to scroll.
He's got to scroll a little further.
He's played 84 minutes this year, so this might be the longest he's played this season. This is his 7th game, though, so it's not like he hasn't played many games. We have seen him a lot.
He hasn't really been an early option like he is today.
Yeah, he's usually come on in the second half and played big chunks in the second half.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's a good decision from Coach McGinley to just, again, see what the options are going into the playoffs.
Keaty's a first-year player too, so it's a look for the future.
Oh.
It's a beautiful bit of footwork. Because there are 10 seniors on this Trinity team, so what we see next year is going to be very different from this year. That's the universal problem in college soccer, of course. You've only got players for 4 years. So you're always going to have plenty of turnover. Ball comes back out. Tigers trying to cross it in here. Knutson stays with it, puts it away. Adam Knutson. Great work to stay with that too.
Yeah, give him credit for his balance there.
Yeah.
That's what gets the goal. Because contact comes in, 2 players coming together in the middle of the box, just a natural coming together, no type of foul involved in it. But you'll see it here. Knutson is the one right there who just is able to get to the ball quicker after the fact. And that's what makes the difference, because defender gets there first, he's cleared it. But Knutson keeps his balance better. He's on his feet. He's more sturdy. Good strength from him to keep his feet as well. That's just an athletic goal from Adam Knutson.
So that means, as things stand, Trinity Well, even without, as things stand, a win today wins Trinity the regular season championship. The question is whether they share it with Colorado College. Regular season champions is how things are right now with this win. But as it stands, they'll take the number 1 seed because Colorado College hasn't kicked off yet. So
Can't be winning if you haven't kicked off yet.
Yeah, you can't be winning if you haven't kicked off yet. I'm surprised that the SCAC didn't make them kick off an hour earlier, given the time change for the Central Time.
I think does Colorado not have?
They don't have it, so they'd be even further back. They wouldn't even be starting until after this game because they'd be 2 hours behind.
I think we do. I'm from Colorado. I'm pretty sure we changed the times. I mean, Colorado College is like 20 minutes from
your
where I
place.
live. Yeah.
They, I thought they did. I'm thinking of Arizona.
Arizona, yeah.
Yeah. But they are an hour behind because they're on Mountain Time. So 1 hour? Yes, 1 hour.
Yes.
I'm surprised SCAC wasn't like, you know what, maybe we should make them kick off an hour earlier today. So we'll try and keep you up to date with that. We might have to keep you up to date with that in the women's game as well. But as things stand, Trinity are the number 1 seed now. Do you think, is there an advantage there, you think, Scott, in playing second?
That's Colorado College are now?
Because you know what you've got to do.
Yeah, I think
Doesn't
so.
put more pressure on.
I think there's an advantage. I think there's an inherent advantage in that. The one thing I'll say, though, is I don't think that advantage is going to affect either of them too much in today's games. I think in another season where, maybe they're pushing for a playoff spot or
Keeper's off his line. Knutson has a go, but well wide.
But yeah, no, when sometimes there's more to play for in those days, that might have been a situation where that hour does benefit Colorado College. I don't necessarily think so today. I also think if they were in Trinity's situation as well, maybe a little different, knowing that, maybe they know ahead of time, well, Colorado College
has already stitched up the number 1,
yeah,
so you could rest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not gonna take them over with the goals conceded.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, because Colorado College is still going to want that number 1 seed, so they're still going to have to play it. Whereas if it was the other way around, where you were the number 2 seed, if Trinity won today, then you would know there's nothing you could do to change the situation, and maybe you rest players. That's a good point. Well, Powell on the ball. Looks wide. Finds his man. So that was 14th goal of the season for Adam Knutson, 27th of his career. Powell double marked, although he gets round, can cut it back.
Oh, it was a good cut
Vital
back.
Clearance, headed back in. Only half clear. All the players are looking up at the ball. Don't realise how close they are to their opponents. Strong stuff here from John Connorall.
Wow.
John Connorall's strength created
Wow.
that. I am surprised that none of those were a foul, but it comes out for Akiti. Akiti over for Dugan.
I was really impressed with Husky's strength there, holding off John Connorall and then squeezing through 3 Trinity defenders and bustling John Connorall to the ground, which you hardly see that, especially from a player. And Husky's 5'10". He's a little bit smaller than Rule.
Kate Dugan on the ball. Now for Knutson.
He'll have a hit.
Space. He is going to have a go. Just curled the wrong way.
It had great movement on it.
It was moving a lot, which isn't what you want as a goalkeeper. As a goalkeeper, you hate when it's moving like that. Swirls around. Just swung away from goal. Good hit, though, from Knutson. He often scores in bunches, does Adam Knutson. Seen plenty of goals this season. Like, it's looking on there, and then it just late curls away.
Yeah, what I'll tell you, I think he hits it really well. I think he wants it to spin that way, slice to the outside. I think he wants to aim more centrally, though, so that when it slices out, it's not going wide. It's going up to that top corner from closer to the keeper.
Yeah, those are the hard ones as a keeper because you set yourself up, it's coming close, and then it goes away. You've suddenly got to dive, and that's the hardest spot to get to.
Yeah, well, you're expecting maybe something really hard at your face that you might want to punch or something like that, and then all of a sudden it's high and away and hard.
The team was signaling for something there. I'm not sure what. Maybe a glove change. Cleared away. Still with the gents, though. This is a good opportunity. Good passage here. Flicked on over the top. Rule headed forward. Couldn't find Dugan.
Not enough on the header.
Trinity just
He might
can't
have
get
a
it
hit.
clear.
He does.
I think he was going to, and then he just couldn't get it out soon enough, which allowed 3 Trinity players to get around him.
And then it
because
gets
was
blocked
too
in the
obvious.
end.
It's much easier to block.
Yeah, I think he would have wanted to take that on first or second touch, but under a lot of pressure there. Hard to do so.
Halftime, Concordia, Texas Lutheran is scoreless.
Good header.
Southwestern McMurray still scoreless as well. That goal still holding up between Austin College and St. Thomas, which would eliminate St. Thomas. Knutson squares it for Instrel, who has a goal. Appeals for a handball. I think in this day and age, it's just not going to be called. His hands were too close to his side.
Opportunity was there.
Big chance.
Good hit from Instrel.
Let's have a look. I want to have a look at this handball call because I think it did come off a hand. But
Yeah.
oh, no, it
that's not
didn't
gonna
even
get
come off a
called.
hand. It was off his rear end anyway. It looked like it in real time, though. It really did. But it came off the back of his legs there. So, right stuff for the referee. And the referee immediately said no before even the Trinity bench, who will go up very quickly. Before they were even up, straight away, signaling no. So he made a decision. I think a lot of times what can happen, referee doesn't make a signal because there's no signal for it's not a thing, right? And then the bench goes up and gets angry and thinks he didn't see it. He saw it and immediately signaled that it wasn't a handball. Correct call too. In real time, though, looked a lot more dangerous than it really was. Seen those kind of calls given. I think nowadays less so because of the clarification about the handball. Oh, phenomenal work from Kate Dugan doing the splits.
And now Knutson's in.
Knutson's clean through, blocked. Great recovery.
Still alive.
That was saved. Great recovery there was Dylan Clark who came back and blocked that. No push in the back. Centenary will continue. Down left.
Good spell that for Trinity.
Yeah, really good passage there. I feel like Knutson needed to get it out a little sooner, but he just didn't have the ball quick enough. Huge boot from Sat Pathy. It's gone about 50 yards. Football team might be making some calls. Although the Trinity football team's got a pretty great kicker who's launching them from over 50 yards too. He's got the school record for a field goal.
Set that last year, I think, right? That record, or did he break it again?
Well, I think he
year?
broke it this year, and then he nearly broke it last week.
I see.
In what would have been a game winner. Mungia comes in.
Number 14, Alex Alvarez.
Alvarez in for Centenary. So that's Knutson and Instrel with a 20-minute halftime at least.
15, Owen Hoy.
So,
Owen Hoy comes in.
couple of interesting subs. Tom Whitwell came in earlier. He's a center back naturally. He's not playing as a center back right now. He's playing as that deep lying 6 role, which will drop between. And he's right there, importantly, to stop the counterattack just by his presence there after Chandler gives away.
Yeah, slipped back into... Oh, Rule, I think, just got clipped, maybe?
Maybe.
That's what the call was? He definitely stuttered.
He did.
So something happened.
But then additionally, Hoy is a natural center back as well, and he's come in.
He's playing more in
And
6 too.
So I don't know that he'll be able to play that 6. I think they're going to have to push him to be a box-to-box, which is really
Looks like
different.
That is actually where they're putting him.
Which is going to be interesting. It's another experiment today on a day when it started with experiments, and we've continued to have experiments throughout the game from Coach McGinley.
Yeah, I think it's important because you might have to try some things in the... Yeah, it's just not a ton of intent to get the ball there, shall we say? Easy call for the AR. Yeah, look, I mean, you're about to hit the conference tournament. You're looking at extra time comes into play then. We don't have extra time now in the regular season. Then you got penalties.
Games in back-to-back days, and I'm
Back-to-back
sure
days
they've
once you hit
already
NCAA.
started practicing penalties.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be in every session.
Especially
the
after
next couple of
last year, heartbreaking way to go out, losing on penalties in the SCAC final.
weeks. Yeah, although they did. I think they did get an at-large berth, didn't they?
Trinity.
Into the men's tournament?
Yeah, they did.
They did. So they still played, but
Yeah.
didn't win the SCAC trophy. They're determined to win this year. It's their last season. They want to leave the SCAC with all the trophies.
I believe they actually won that first round game on penalties then. So back-to-back games,
Learned the lessons.
penalties, 1-1, didn't lose the other.
They didn't let any of the Englishmen take the penalties. Actually, I think they didn't. I don't think any of the English players took penalties in either game.
Jack Downs took one
Oh,
in both,
Downs
maybe.
did take
Maybe
one.
maybe not both. Maybe just the first game.
Shot comes.
Decent effort.
Good take, though. Lutein didn't panic, too. A lot of keepers in that situation can dive prematurely, and if he dives there, he's not going to get it.
Yeah, I think just needs a little bit more loft from Perryman. If he gets that a little higher, it might drop in behind, force a dive at the very least. Just dropped too soon.
This is the kind of shift that I think Perryman really likes because he can go full pace. Because he's only on for 5 minutes, right? He can just go. And I think that's the kind of thing he likes. He's an intense player. Like, he really enjoys getting stuck in and going for it and just going full bore. This is the kind of game. This is the kind of shift that he can really get stuck into. Because he knows it's only going to be 2 more minutes. May as well. Look, I think a lot of these have been the defense from Centenary has been really good all season, honestly.
Yeah. It was sloppy to start the game. Few communication errors, few playing out of the back errors, but it's really calmed down now, and that's the reason that Trinity have been held to 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been tight. Switch comes. Overrules head. That one might have been the wind again. It's just so unpredictable today. Played forward. Cut out well. Back on possession are the Gents.
Trinity look a little uncomfortable right now.
There's a good spell of possession. Just possessions there.
Yep.
Just no real
No danger.
chance.
Yeah.
Just it's been in areas where, okay, yeah, you don't want to be conceding this much possession, but if you're going to, do it here.
1 minute.
So we hit the last minute.
I do think it's also a testament to how good Trinity's 2 center backs, and right now even you could say 3 center backs and Tom Whitwell in there as well, have been this season, and that, you know, mistakes can happen all over the rest of the field. Possession can be conceded, and still we're not going to give up many chances.
Akiti maybe just running a little long with it, but it was a good run. Good recovery here too. From Perryman, came all the way back to help with that effort.
Now, Powell and Chandler, I feel like they can calm things down. I wouldn't force the ball forward too hard here right now. That's the exact reason.
Yeah, although that was a backwards pass.
Yeah, well, you don't want
to
to square ball, and I think the reasoning for that square pass is to get it to switch to come back across. I would have gone for more of a back pass, go back to Powell, keep the ball, just calm it down. You've been under pressure for the last few minutes. You just want to get out of the half. Get out of the half anyway, though.
And they did. It's half time. It's 1-0 for the Tigers. 7 shots, so that means the Lutein is at 96 saves. So big chance for hitting that 100, getting the century up. So your half-time score, in fact, I think they've added a shot on goal here. So 17 shots to 2. 7 saves, so he's on 97 saves. 6 hours to 7, it's been even. 1 offside apiece, 5 corners. Yeah, it's Trinity have been largely dominant, but they just haven't really had a ton of chances. We're going to have a look at some of the highlights. Here's the goal. Knutson just stayed with it, which was what was great. Poses for the camera too. That'll be needed for the website. And so that's half-time here. Half-time elsewhere. Concordia and Texas Lutheran, scoreless. We're not at halftime yet in the other games. 18 to go in Houston. It's Austin 1.
Got a late start in that game.
St. Thomas 0. McMurray have hit the lead against Southwestern.
Wow.
Which puts Southwestern out. If this stays a draw in the
Austin
other
College
game,
and McMurray.
Austin
Upset
College
City.
and McMurray absolutely
Playing
blowing this
spoilers.
out of the water. And so right now, as things stand, I think Southwestern do stay in, actually. They dropped to 4. No, the loss would put Concordia in. So right now, as things stand, Trinity are number 1 seed, but that's Colorado College, haven't kicked off yet. Colorado College are the number 2 seed. Your number 3 seed would be TLU, and your number 4 seed would be Concordia. Massive upsets, though, right now in those other games. But here it's 1-0 Trinity over Centenary. We will be back for the second half in about 13 minutes. See you then. Welcome back. We're here for the second half. Trinity lead 1-0. Let me get you some updates on the other games, though. Austin College still leading St. Thomas, so St. Thomas are out. Concordia and Texas Lutheran are still tied. But that'll put them both in because McMurray is leading Southwestern, which will put Southwestern out. So the results, I think, the results we least expected to happen are happening right now, except for this one. This one's going about as we expected, 1-0 for Trinity, which will put them in the number 1 seed, but that's because we haven't had a kickoff yet in Colorado, although we're about to.
You had an update in this game that it just rained really hard for like a minute. Yeah, and it's already stopped.
So we got that nice like fresh rain on grass smell though. Big fan. Love that smell.
I like the smell of wet concrete. It's a good one.
Wet concrete's a popular one. Yeah, I don't mind the wet concrete smell either. There's a specific ride at Disney World that has a really unique smell to it that I like. That's a block. It's corner.
Great start to the half. Perales wins the ball high up the pitch. It's his first time being on the field today.
And the game is underway in Colorado. It's still scoreless between Colorado College and Dallas. Which means, as things stand, Trinity are the number 1 seed.
Oh, great ball.
And went far post. It's going to be a free kick. Just sort of one of those things where you jump and your hands are out, and if you touch somebody, it's almost always going to be called. Essentially, you do it because it's the least controversial decision you can make. Because if that ball goes in the back of the net, you know you've got the away bench screaming at you that it was a foul. Because remember, soccer's not a contact sport.
Rules lost his headband there off that header.
Oh, which means we might get the... we were joking that the tiebreak in SCAC should be best hair, which would mean the Tigers would win because of John Connor Rule's majestic locks. Which you might get to see when he adjusts his headband. Did he keep it in? Yes, he did. Not for long, though. Goes out for a goal kick. Functional and fashionable, the John Connor Rule headband. Oh, it's down there on the floor still. I think he's just abandoned it. Cleared away.
It's somewhere up around here.
I think it's over there, actually.
Well, at least it fell off up around here.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Free kick for Centenary. You can see the wind swirling. That rain might be coming back. Actually, the forecast was no rain.
We'll get an update on that forecast. Let's see.
Scott's updating. Chris Hogwood, Scott Lebo with you on the broadcast here on Tiger Network. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us all season. Potentially the last time we'll be with you. Although, there are some confident folks that this will not be the last game on Tiger Network this season. But if I know Trinity always puts in to host, so if that happens, we will be back with you. Women do have priority this year, but it's theoretically possible that both could happen. Not super likely. NCAA doesn't love doing it. But it's an option.
Could happen.
It could happen. It would be an insanely busy week for us. But
could still have the men as well.
Yeah, the men are probably the more likely. They're the higher ranked. They came into the week ranked 13 on the NPI, and I suspect they're going to drop into the top 10 this week.
Great header from Whitwell.
Because the projection from the MPI was a 4-0 win against Ozarks, which they smashed. So that'll raise their ranking. And then I believe the projection for this one is 3-0. So they'll want to get those 2 extra goals. Just cause sometimes you can win, but you don't get the big boost. Having a look at this one.
Oh, that's a painful one. You just see his knee, knee contact right there on the outside of the knee.
No, it's a worse place. Those ones hurt so much.
And it looked like it twisted, extended a little bit. Not fun.
Anderson with the step over, ball comes in.
Oh!
Nearly got all the way through.
Well, it's one of those I like to talk about where if you put it on target, you're forcing a keeper to make a decision. That time, keeper makes a good decision. But if Whitwell could have gotten ahead on it, he puts a keeper in a really tough position.
Yeah, that ball just kept going, and they weren't really expecting it to. Rule went to ground. I'm not sure what happened. I think he would have been in a real good position. So throw in for the Tigers by Powell. Turned. Enstrel. Cross for Anderson. Anderson gets it all the way over. I want to say that's Okidi again, starting this half.
He's getting a long spell in
getting
there.
A long spell, which is good. It's what you want. And he has a go. Makes the keeper make a decision there. I think it's a good save because that would have easily spun back in. And with players coming, give away the corner. It's fine. Difficult corner to go from, especially after that rain just happened. It's going to be slippery. So we'll see.
Some of these have been a little too deep today. This one too close.
Near post, looking for Rule. Oh, good work on the ball. Maybe a chance here for Centenary on the counter.
Huge
There's
chance.
some speed coming. Really powerful run there. It doesn't reach him, but a great run from Brennan Amato too to come out from clearing that ball and sprint forward as much as he did.
Yeah, I think he should have held on to it a bit longer. The pass, I don't think it came at the right time. It allowed Will Powell to get back and recover. If he carries longer and forces Powell to make a decision between his other option, as Aiden Perales just went down behind the play in a lot of pain.
Yeah, he's grabbing his head. I don't think the pain pain is in the head. That's the kind of pain he's in.
No, he called out
straight
in
away.
frustration.
It's not the time of year you want to be going down. Obviously, we'll see if we can see what happened here. I think maybe just... just running after the ball, grabbing his leg. So no issue there. Referee came over to double check there wasn't any sort of foul there. No, he just pulled up, chasing after the ball.
He's had issues in his thigh muscles before, quad, hammy,
which I think
hip.
Is part of the frustration here, right? Someone who's had a lot of hip issues in my time. I had to have surgery last year, but it was just a bone malformation that we never really looked at. So,
well, I know he had a huge knot on his leg freshman year that he was just always trying to get down. And then at some point, I think I remember him saying, like, it's never going to go away. I'm going to have this knot forever unless I have surgery. But if I have this surgery, my muscle's going to be significantly weaker, so I'm not going to have that surgery.
Yeah, I have a big divot in my thigh, actually, from where the incision was made for my hip surgery, because it was a arthroscopic keyhole surgery. It's amazing what we can do now, is what I'll say. But still, missing a chunk of my thigh. Worth it, though. Worth it. I'm not an athlete. So. I feel 10 years younger after it. But yeah, I was in pain for years, honestly. I was just in constant pain and just kind of had written it off as, I'm over 30 now. This is just what happens when you get older. You get some back pain and then we looked into it and turns out I had some torn ligaments that needed some work, so.
Oh, great touch from Anderson there.
Yeah, opens up a space now. Instrel goes over to Knutson.
Yeah, he just turned well, and this whole left side of the field was completely unlocked, and Zach Anderson, he opened the door to that possibility.
Ball does eventually run out, though, for a goal kick, but yeah, good way to create that chance. Goal kick here for Lutine.
Good powerful header there from Whitwell. He's done good out of the air.
Halftime in Houston. Austin 1, St. Thomas have equalized. So it's 1-1 there. Which I believe puts St. Thomas in as things stand. No, St. Thomas do need to win, so never mind. St. Thomas still out, but it's made their scenario a lot better than it was looking. So they go to the half 1-1. Oh, beautiful run with the ball here.
What
Gets
a run.
around 3-4. Lutine makes the save. I'm just looking at the number to see where we're at. It's got to be 99 on the season now. No, 98.
That's really, really brilliant, though, from Adam Knutson. He just skips his way in and out, down the field.
He's already got one today.
Yep. Could have scored, but he shoots in a really good way. He uses a powerful shot towards that far post, which the keeper's only option is to put that back in a dangerous area.
Oh, it's headed from the corner.
Whitwell.
Tom Whitwell from the corner. Beautiful corner right to his head. I don't think he even had to jump for it. First goal of the season, third of his career for Tom Whitwell, the senior out of Warwick, England. We'll have a look here. Does he even have to jump? Oh, he gets a little bit of air. He had to jump just a little, but that's a perfect...
On the assist is number 8, Louis Instraw.
Perfect corner from Louis Instraw right to Tom Whitwell, product of the Notts County Academy.
And you know, I've been saying he's been man marking in midfield and having a few really good headers against a tough opponent. Shows up in the box then, gets his reward for his defensive work with an offensive header, powerful into the back of the net.
6th assist of the season for Louis Instraw, 9th of his career, so he's now looking for 10 assists in his career. 2-0 Trinity over Centenary. As things stand, Trinity going in as the number 1 seed. It's still scoreless between Dallas and Colorado College. Still 1-0 McMurray over Southwestern. That'll put Southwestern out, which means the draw right now between Concordia and TLU is the result both teams want, because they will both go through as things stand with the draw. If one of them loses, one of them goes out. Wonder if that message is filtering through to Seguin. But yeah, maybe we could just play this out, lads.
I think neither team would feel too comfortable with that, though,
given who the other teams are playing.
Exactly. You know, McMurray and Austin College doing really well right now to be ahead, but you wouldn't expect if you're Southwestern or St. Thomas to lose those games. And so if you're TLU or Concordia, you wouldn't expect it either. You want to play to be comfortable, not just to squeak by.
But as things stand, that's where we're at. And so that means that it will be, as things stand, Trinity will play Concordia now, and Colorado College would play TLU.
And the Colorado College game is still 0-0?
Still 0-0, so nothing's changed there, which means Trinity are the number 1 seed. And sole regular season champ is cleared off the line. 3 is what the prediction is from the NPI system. So basically you get the full allotment of points if you win by your expected margin or something. Oh, well, Colorado College has just taken over the number 1 seed. They've taken the lead against Dallas. Shot comes. Oh, I thought it was going to sneak in, you know. Goes over the bar, though. Goal kick for Lutine.
I think Trinity have been doing a really good job in this second half of creating shot opportunities from tough angles that force Lutine to make saves that he doesn't want to make. Saves where his only option is to put the ball back into a dangerous area, and Trinity have been capitalizing on them. They're the players in there. It's resulted in a few chances. It resulted in that corner that Whitwell just scored off of.
Oh, Kane, that's good defense there from Hayden McDonald. Hayden McDonald did well, stepped over it. That's why it's a goal kick. Didn't touch it. Trinity thought it was a corner. But he used his body well, which forced Kane to lose it, and then deliberately let the ball go through his legs, knowing it was going to run out. Really smart work there from Hayden McDonald, sophomore defender out of Flower Mound, Texas. It's a Dallas Cup finalist.
Oh, great run from Anderson.
Anderson's been doing really well.
Yeah, he's having a day.
It's a lot of things that aren't going to show up in the stat sheet. Can Powell keep it in? He does. But the shot, the crosses the line anyway. So it's goal kick for the Gents. So yeah, Colorado College are 1-0 up on Dallas. That'll mean it's a co-regular season championship for the Tigers and Colorado College. McMurray still up, about an hour gone there. Concordia and TLU, 65 minutes gone there. Still at half-time in Austin and St. Thomas. That's the game that might matter the most right now. Goes back to Rule. Up the left for Akiti. Oh, beautiful work from Akiti to beat one. Plays it back for Knutson. They want to switch. That's the call.
That's what's on. Just can they get it out of there without having to go too far backwards?
Swung in. Powell, I think, smartly staying back there.
Yep.
Because if he runs in,
He's out of the play.
he's way out of it. Knows that the defense will get that. So he just lets him get it and sees what develops. And now he's on the ball. And he's in that position because he stayed back.
I think that was a good bit of defending there from Centenary, which is something we've seen a decent amount of so far in this half. But to keep Trinity pinned on that far left side
Yeah, they
when
had
the switch
so
was
many
on.
players around it
Right.
just to block that switch. And look, I think Centenary have been a good team defensively. I know their record, they're one game below 500. Well, 2 now. Just taking the throw too far up. Will Powell apologizes. He'll go back and take it where he needs to. So throw here for Will Powell. Finds Instraw. Goes back. Centenary back on the ball here.
Another good moment from Anderson there.
Yeah, just so many things that just aren't going to show up statistically, but it shows why he's got a spot in the team, why he's so highly regarded.
He's just an engine. He does a lot of that hard, dirty work off the ball. You play as a defensive midfielder or an 8 or a center back. You're not going to get the stats. You're not going to get the accolades that some of these other players will get. Doesn't mean you're not one of the most important players on your team.
That's why we have a Defensive Player of the Week award, is to recognize that stuff that doesn't always show up, although often they just give it to defenders that score.
Exactly. I was going to say, I don't like that they just typically give it to defenders that score goals, and I'm not sure that was a free kick.
I think it's that trailing leg. It dragged in, it made contact with him.
It's a tough one.
But it's a dangerous opportunity. They've got some tall players
It
to
is.
Centenary. Ball's coming in.
Great ball. Well dealt
Cleared
with.
away.
Rule loses his headband again.
Again, man. We're going to have to get him a headband supply. Well, we can't. But, he's going to have to get some more headbands. Swing by 5 below. Go for a walk up Broadway. I'm sure he could get a good headband.
I'm sure.
plenty of boutiques. Up the road from here. Throw in comes. Yeah. Looking for Udoji. Cleared away by the Tigers. 30 minutes to play here at Paul McGinley Field. Trinity Tigers 2, Centenary 0. In the last ever men's soccer SCAC game at Paul McGinley Field. Potentially more games as a SCAC player, as a SCAC team, but last SCAC game. Flicked forward.
Last SCAC regular season game. You got SCAC championships.
Yeah, but not here.
Not here.
Not here. That's in the last SCAC game at Paul McGinley Field.
Turn it look! Turn it look!
A lot of lasts this season.
Concordia has scored.
That's big.
Huge goal for Concordia. That'll put them as the 3 seed as things stand. So they would play. They would play against Colorado College now, and I believe that then means Southwestern becomes the number 4 seed. So that might put Southwestern in now. That does put Southwestern in. Southwestern will be the number 3. Shot comes, it's blocked. No, sorry, they'd be the number 3. So it'd be Trinity against Concordia. Colorado College would play TLU. Sorry, play Southwestern. As things stand, we are now in the most complicated scenario where TLU Concordia has a result, but Southwestern and St. Thomas are not winning. Which is the only way Southwestern gets in with the loss. So Southwestern can lose, and they'll still make it as things stand. So Trinity started today. Their opponent was going to be TLU. TLU now, as things stand, are out. Centenary. You can see there Hayden McConnell calling for options. He's looking around. He's got his arms out. Just no players really running. Everybody just stationary, and he's got no options. Kane comes back. Stayed onside, though. Now, here's that slip from Ukidi just because of the rain. Nothing he's done wrong there. We had that rain right before. Like, cannot stress how close to the half starting that rain was. Players were literally walking out. So it's not like they had time to change boots. You know, some players play with longer cleats for a wet weather game just because it's got a bit more traction to it. Can't do that when the rain comes like as you're walking onto the pitch. I wonder if Luke Chandler wears fully black boots. Does Luke Chandler referee anywhere?
I don't know.
Because I'm like,
I don't know.
I only ever see that was usually the tell in local soccer. If somebody wears all black boots, someone's got black boots, it's because they're refereeing.
I'll tell you what, though. Rumor is, do you remember his late winner earlier in the season?
Yes. Oh, big chance, flicked away. It still comes. This is a big hit. Goes wide. Anyway, yes, his late winner.
Yeah, so rumor is after the late winner, he got gifted new boots. They were just happened to be sitting at his locker the next morning.
Interesting.
So it could be those.
Those could be the boots.
Dangerous effort.
That was a dramatic game. Phenomenal. We're shaping up for a rematch of that game too, but not anymore. Not right now as things stand. Ball comes, far post, headed on. Just a little too under it. Goes out for a goal kick. So yeah, Concordia with a huge goal in terms of their season. Colorado College lead. McMurray still up on Southwestern, who would still advance as things stand. It has opened the door for St. Thomas now. Actually, no, it hasn't. I don't think so. I think they need a...
They need a draw.
They need a draw, but they only need a draw in one of those games. So if Southwestern, if they can take the lead and Southwestern is still behind, I believe St. Thomas might sneak in. I believe they sneak in as the 4. But right now it's Southwestern who are going through as the 4. Even if they lose, right now they still go through.
Oh, great footwork.
Yeah, phenomenal stuff there from Kevin Husky.
I've been impressed by Husky today.
Yeah, he came on in the first half and made like an immediate impact. He was the one that made that run that Sat Paffy had to come out to save. So he's been an impressive player. He has played a decent amount this year. This is his 14th game. They've all been, except for 2, they've all been off the bench. But he's played plenty. He's had 30 shots too, so he's definitely had an impact. If my math is right too, their goalkeeper, Lutine, is on 99 saves for the season. So it's a significant chance that Lutine jumps up to that 100 save season. Big part of why Centenary's been in so many games this season. It's been a rough season for Centenary because a lot of these games, their record, you think, oh man, they've been getting beat. They've really just been... They've been in games, and then late they'll concede or drop out, and that's been the problem for them this season. And I think if they can hold that out just a little bit more, they can play full 90s, I think the future looks bright for Centenary.
I mean, only just eliminated on Friday, you said, right?
Oh yeah, Friday was the day that eliminated them, and it wasn't even because of them. They got a tie. It was other results just didn't go their way. They needed help, and they didn't get it. Centenary and even
Austin College?
Austin College, I think, were already eliminated coming into this weekend. But Ozarks was still in it, mathematically at least. So I think, look, Trinity's leaving SCAC next year, so that's going to open up a spot, right? And so I think a lot of teams are going to be thinking next season that they've got a real chance to at least make the playoffs that haven't been big contenders in SCAC, and I think that's a good thing for SCAC. Good ball here for Knutson. Can have a go to get his brace.
Oh, good
From
deflection.
our angle, it nearly looked like it went in.
Important deflection.
So, corner kick for the Tigers. Instraw coming over to take it. Already got an assist from a corner today.
Tom Whitwell's in there again.
Yeah, it would be historic for Whitwell if he could do this. He's never had a multiple goal game. He's making that run. Goes near post. Ball goes far to Rule, but it's just beyond him. Goes out for a goal kick. Just think stand. Tigers and Tigers are co-champions. Colorado College and Trinity. Southwestern go through. Concordia will be the number 3 seed. Southwestern will be the number 4. But they need those results to hold if they fall to McMurray to Southwestern.
Oh!
Went in. I think the argument from the referee is going to be, well, he ended up with the ball anyway. So, but you've definitely seen those be reds.
Yeah. I also don't think he caught him as much
Yeah,
as
he got
could
a lot
have.
of the ball.
I think he got very lucky that his studs did not end up somewhere where
Yeah,
they
if
shouldn't
he
have
got
been.
him in the thigh, that's a player goes down. That's a red. Trinity bench though still went up. Not happy about it.
It's a dangerous play. He might honestly.
He could
still
go back
get a
and
yellow
get a
just
yellow
for the.
it, but I doubt it. I doubt that's how this is going to play out. So Tigers making a run forward. Mayfield looking at his options. Instral's calling for it.
Good pass there.
Yeah, bypassed Instral. Now it's with Instral. Whitwell goes all the way back for Chandler.
And this is very well done by Centenary again. You don't want Trinity to switch. That's where the space is. They keep Trinity from being able to switch through midfield. In order to switch, they have to go all the way back. And by the time now they're up this left side, Centenary's over there. You don't want to get switched through midfield. That will make your defense have to shift really quickly. That's where organizational problems can happen.
There's that switch, which came further up than they would have liked. Cole actually from the bench from Kevin White was keep them here, keep them on this side. Which is definitely something they've coached clearly because they've done it multiple times. So it's a good bit of coaching, good tactical work there from Coach White. It's going to run for Sat Pathy. 20 minutes to play. 2-0 Tigers over the Gents. Gives me a second to double check all the other scores. They stay the same. It's all 1-0s except for St. Thomas where it's 1-1. We're stopping the clock. I think we're going back. Yeah. Yeah, so this is going back for the challenger. He looks incredulous. I don't think he understands what he's getting it for. It's the yellow for that challenge we were talking about. He's gone back for it.
Yeah, it was extremely dangerous.
I
mean, it could have been a leg breaker.
If I was him, I would be shutting my mouth.
Yeah.
Like, you're just asking for a second yellow to dissent a challenge like that. Like, I know it's a long time after the challenge happened, but the referee played a really good advantage. It's exactly how refereeing's supposed to go. Goes down, referee says all ball. I'm inclined to agree. I think he did get all the ball
based
there.
on the direction that the ball ended up going.
Ball changed direction. Good ball over the top. Does Udogu have the speed? Or Udoji, I should say, as I mess up my vowels. Goes wide. There's that switch coming. It can be hard when you're on the bench and you can see what's about to happen, but your players can't because they're not on the bench. They're in the middle of the field where everybody has a different view of it. Looks like another yellow card there, presumably a dissent. Silly yellow card, if that's what it is. It's by far the silliest yellow card you can get, is a dissent yellow. Still 1-1 in Houston, still 1-0 in Colorado, still 1-0 in Georgetown, still 1-0 in Seguin.
It's the only game. Got 2 goals.
Well, no. Austin College and St. Thomas have 2 goals. Only game to have 2 goals for one team, though. I'm not surprised at all that the TLU game and Concordia's tight. That's a tense game.
Important game.
Yeah, look, you win, you're in. You know that's the simplest equation for them.
No, but sometimes when you have these like really, really tight, important games, it gets a little cagey, and neither team really want to put too much forward because they're worried about.
They don't want to concede.
Exactly.
It's one of the reasons FIFA got rid of golden goal.
Yep.
Is because it incentivized defensive play, and they didn't like that. Also, just you can have an unlucky deflection and you're out.
You could lose a game on an own goal.
You could lose a game on an own goal. You could lose a game on an unlucky deflection. It was just an instant loss, and so it just
a refereeing mistake if you give a penalty that shouldn't be given, right? Like there's a lot of things that you don't want the game to end on, that it could end on in that situation. It still might win a game.
And just like, the other argument FIFA made is how many times have we seen it where team concedes and then scores real quickly afterwards, and you're denying that.
14 for 16.
I think players wanted that. Like, I think the players... So it looks like Whitwell coming off. Yeah, Whitwell coming off.
He's putting a shift.
For Donnelly. He's got a goal. First goal of the season, third of his career. So, big shift for Tom Whitwell.
Works in the office with some of the stats people who we've got sitting near us, so they're all pretty happy for him.
You had a special announcement when he scored the goal, actually. It wasn't our usual ground announcer James making the announcement. That was a foul throw from Cam Smith, but anyway, we'll ignore that. Nobody calls foul throws anyway. Back to the keeper. He needs one more save to get the 100 for the season. All the Centenary players offside on that clearance, so allowed Trinity an easy way to get the ball back because none of them could play it. Although, honestly, play it anyway and take the offside flag. It's going to be a much better defensive position for you to do that than just give Trinity a free possession where you're all still back. At least you'll then have time to come back. Anderson on the ball for Knutson. Instraw. Smith with the big switch for Mayfield.
Good find.
Looks to get it out to Tice. Tries to turn, went to ground, but it was just because he was
slipped,
spinning.
Yeah.
Spinning on a wet pitch, he'll do that. Cross is blocked. And goes back for Donnelly. Donnelly to rule. Looking to open up some space here, maybe find a pass, but I'll tell you what, the Centenary defense, well organised.
Yeah, very well organised.
Really hard to find options for the Tigers. That's a good ball, though. Crossed in, blocked. It's going to, does run out to corner for the Tigers. 11th corner of the game. Scored off one of them. Changes coming. Perryman comes on, as does Kaysen Dilworth, who had an assist on Friday. Kaysen Dilworth's sister played at Concordia. Of course, Concordia right now 1-0 up in the men's game. And so would be advancing. It's getting
there's another one. Donnelly.
Another goal off the corner. Donnelly, who came in for Whitwell. So it's essentially exactly the same corner. We'll have another look at it here.
Yep, just from the other side.
Just the opposite side.
This time flick to the back post. That's a brilliant header.
That's a great header. Under a lot of pressure, too. That makes it 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of players in front of him.
A lot of bodies in the way.
Not sure how he even saw the ball to make contact with it, to flick it, but that matches the NPI score.
It
so
does match
full
what the
points
NPI
available.
was predicting. So now it's a potentially bonus points territory. So Mark Donnelly, 4th goal of the season, 8th of his career. Of course, he's a grad student transferred in from West Liberty, where he graduated last year. Out of Belfast, Northern Ireland. His dad played over 600 times for Cliftonville, which big club in Northern Ireland is Cliftonville. And so a big hello to Mr. Donnelly if you're watching it. It's still early in Northern Ireland, so these games are a lot easier to get up for than the night games. It's in his son's last regular season game. Good run into the box. There's a powerful shot over the bar. Keeper didn't get there. It's going to be a goal kick. He needs one more save to get the 100 for the year. Of course, this is Centenary's last game of the season, so if he doesn't get it, he'll finish the season on 99. Let's get another look at this shot, though. He's got an assist already today, or a lot of power behind it. He's got
2 assists now.
Oh, he does have 2 assists now. You're right. Because, of course, 2 corners.
Yeah, and I'm interested that he got the assist on that first one to Tom Whitwell, because Trinity liked to take in-swinging corners most of the time, and he took an outswinger and they scored off of it.
Oh, just missed by the Tigers' defense there. I think it was the ball, though. I think it's a beautiful pass that just out of the reach of the defenders, gets it around the legs. Well gathered by Sapathy. You've got to be quick. These games can be hard as a keeper. Hasn't had a ton to do, and then all of a sudden you're called on. Bit dramatic. Brennan Amato in a challenge had to jump up onto the bench because the cement here would have collected it. So really athletic stuff from Amato. There he is again. Amato's just athleticism. He's very quick. Unfortunately, he's a senior, so we won't see him again. Although we were unlikely to see him again anyway, because probably unlikely to be a non-conference opponent, just geographically. But maybe in a future NCAA tournament. We'll get Centenary fans excited about the future. Oh, beautiful work. Instraw. Beautiful footwork. Cuts inside. How's it go? That's 100 saves on the season.
That's a great way to
really
get to 100.
Really good save for Lutine.
Low and away. Instraw trying to catch him out. We've seen players from this position today go to that far post. Lutine's ready for it. That's where he wants to jump.
That's a great save. Getting down low is difficult to do.
It's a good reaction. Especially, you as a goalkeeper, you got to be thinking he's going far post there.
And then Instraw stayed on his feet. I think he might have got a clip there. And maybe could have gone to ground. Didn't, to his credit. Had a good shot. Lutine makes the save. 100th of the season for him. Which means it's the 100th of his career. He's on track for 400 career saves. Foul against Trinity. So a relieving free kick. But yeah, phenomenal performance from Lutine. I know they're 3-0 down. I feel like I say this a lot.
Yeah, we've had a lot of
really good
keepers
who just end up conceding a few goals. But Lutine, really, really great performance. I mean, he's made 10 saves today. Yeah,
100 on the season.
100 on the season. Like, it's not, it's not the NCAA, 55 save record, but I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Turn comes. I got to look up that game. I got to watch well, I don't think there is clips of that game because it was the 90s, but
Box score.
Got to find the box score and see what on earth happened. Got a hunch there was a red card. Just my hunch. Maybe a couple. But he's a great goalkeeper. Beautiful little flick. Skills.
Oh, good cut back.
Tice with the back heel. Corner kick for the Tigers. 14th of the day. Look, scoring off 2 of them. It's not a bad return. Corners are actually, I know people always I should have scored more from the corners. Corners are actually really hard to score from because your options are limited. The arc is so small, everybody is automatically onside.
Yeah, they're very difficult.
You have to cut it back. It's your only option. There's a really good video on YouTube about how to improve corner kicks. That's really fascinating. Corners aren't more difficult to score from than you think, because you think of them as a really great attacking opportunity. It's just they're easier to defend than other set pieces, because they're going to cut it back. They have to cut it back, unless you got someone that can score an Olympico. which we've seen. On
The
this
higher, higher you get, though, it's harder to score in Olympico because keepers are going to be aware to it, and it's just hard to get it in with that much pace. If you're putting that much spin on it, it's difficult. It's a difficult skill to have at a high level. That's why you rarely see it at the professional level. Christian Pulisic scored one recently, but that was kind of an accidental one.
No, just ask him. He meant that.
I'd be happy to ask Christian Pulisic anything.
I'll ask him next time. I've got a game here. Didn't get a chance to. He hadn't done it last time. I had a chat with.
You've spoken to him. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Spoken more with his dad because he coached in Pittsburgh with the Riverhounds.
33, Finnegan Saunders, 39, Filippo Gamapota. Number 5, Kay Dugan.
It's a line change for the Tigers, basically everybody.
Full-scale changes, getting everybody involved.
Including goalkeeper Sat Pathy comes out. So Joshua Lynch, I believe, came back in. Yeah, Joshua Lynch comes in. So that'll be his 19th game of his career, 6th of the season. Trinity have actually messed this substitution up. They had
12
players on.
4-4-3.
Instraw forgot to come off. And so he'll come off. They messed that up.
Come on, Paul.
Bit of banter on the sidelines. Coaches just poking fun at the situation. Basically, Louis Instraw forgot that he was supposed to be coming
Or
off.
didn't know?
Or didn't know. Well, I think they made 11 changes, so he should have known. I'm looking. I think they made 11. I'm not
I
seeing.
think Case and Dilworth was on.
Oh, Dilworth was on, so they made 10 though.
Was Perryman on? I'm not sure if he was on.
He might have just come on, you know. Like I'm just thinking, you got to know because everybody else who's staying on was. Everyone has a bit of a laugh about it.
Yeah.
But I got to say, it's a benefit. We have a fourth official now, which we haven't always had here, and it makes this a lot easier. Because it can happen, and you've got a fourth to just say, hold on. There's 12 on the field. There's a penalty for that in NFL, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. If
Shot
ball's
comes
snapped, well, it depends. If you're if the defense has 12 on the field and you can snap the ball
snap
with the
the ball
defense
quickly.
with 12 on the field, that's a flag. And then for the offense, you can't have 12 in the huddle. So
so if a 12th comes up while they're huddling.
yeah. I don't know exactly because there's
what point you
substitution
call it.
rules.
Yeah,
so I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I know you can't have 12 in the huddle because the defense can't know who to substitute,
they
know what
wouldn't
their
know
matchups are going to be.
What the tactic is. to
Yeah,
change.
exactly.
It's a common thing in NHL because obviously the changes in NHL happen while the game is
Yeah.
active, and you'll often end up cleared away, just enough bodies in the way from Centenary. It goes out for a throw. Yeah, common penalty in hockey is too many men on the ice because of you have those quick changes, and then all of a sudden the puck ends up right by the boards when you're making the change, and a player touches it. Too many men on the ice. Happens commonly. Throw in for the Gents. 7 minutes to go. TLU has equalized. It's 1-1,
Oh, man.
which I believe puts Southwestern out.
Yep.
If that is still the same, I believe TLU's down to 10.
If all
too.
the other games are the same score still,
I'm
I believe
I'm doing a double check. TLU's down to 10. They've equalized. McMurray's still beating Southwestern. That'll knock out Southwestern.
Wow.
St.
10 men
Thomas
of
is
TLU.
1-1. So at the moment,
Oh, so St. Thomas are a goal away. Oh, wow.
but St. Thomas are currently also out. So TLU and Concordia are at 1-1. That means they are both through.
Yep. But if St. Thomas scored, they're
If St. Thomas
in
scores,
over one of.
they're in over. I believe it will be Concordia.
Wow.
That would go out. It's all happening. It's
It's
one
a huge goal from
1
TLU,
minute left.
from the 10 men of TLU.
1 minute left in that TLU Concordia
Oh,
game.
man. If that finishes in a draw, it'll be all to play for.
I'm just having a look here. Yeah, red card to TLU, Carson Eldridge, unsporting behavior.
Before or after the goal?
It was before the goal. They scored with 10 men.
The 10 men of TLU creating chaos on the final match day.
1-1 with literally 30 seconds to go in that game. But as it stands, they would both go through. As it stands, a 1-1 draw is actually the ideal
Enough.
result in that game. Problem is, that St. Thomas game started like 15 minutes late, so they're going to know.
The strategic benefit.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me.
St. Thomas, where they didn't water the field or something, and they had to wait an extra 15 minutes. For
I mean, so one of the
reason.
challenges for St. Thomas is they don't control that stadium, so there could be some
Yeah,
issues that
that's
are
true.
not their fault.
Or could fake some issues. Oh, it's not our fault.
Yeah, I just don't know if you'd want to do that if you're St. Thomas. I think you just want to get it done.
Well, you get 15 minutes late. Now they tied. You have 15 minutes where
you got 15 minutes
you can
where
make it.
you got to score anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
So
They had to win no matter what.
losing to who they're
They
losing
didn't. They
to.
don't really get much of a benefit. Anyway, they had to win.
They had to win regardless,
Yeah.
so it didn't really matter for them what happened in the other games. I guess they could have known they were definitely out.
Yep.
But
You're not going to
But
do
that's not
much
really
with that
gonna change
information.
anything.
Yeah.
we're getting real close to final in the TLU Concordia game. How's it go? Saved! Only counts as one save, though.
That was the first time all game I think he's looked a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, it happens because he got his body behind it, and that's what you want your goalkeeper to do. So my stats are saying 90 for TLU Concordia, but it doesn't say final. So I don't know that one yet. But that would put TLU Concordia, it would mean TLU would play Trinity, which... Heck of a game we had earlier in the season.
Good press and defending from Trinity there, and now they could. Oh,
Just couldn't get that ball out. I want to say that's now final. I want to say it was Concordia 1, TLU 1. So that would be, at the moment, both of those teams through. So it'll be Colorado College versus Concordia, Trinity versus TLU. But all the other games still going on.
yep. Southwestern could still get in. St. Thomas could still get in.
Southwestern have equalized.
That's
to
another huge one.
McMurray. They just did it in the 85th minute.
And so does that change the arithmetic at all for right now?
No, they needed a result in that game. Oh, no. Yeah, a draw they are in as long as St. Thomas doesn't. So I believe that then knocks out Concordia.
So right now Southwestern in at the 4, but if St. Thomas win, they'll
If St.
pass.
Thomas win, they jump up.
I'll see.
24 minutes to go in that one. So that would put Concordia out. Unless there's some late drama that I don't know about in Seguin. But that's where we're at. So Concordia's out unless McMurray pulls it off again. 85th minute equalizer. Draw puts Southwestern in as long as St. Thomas does not win. Chaos in the SCAC on the final day.
Yeah. Gone through a lot of different situations.
I think the only team that hasn't been in a situation where they were in of those 4
St.
is
Thomas.
St. Thomas. They're the only team that hasn't been in today.
Very well could be.
Very well could
One
be
game,
in
one
the
goal.
last moments. So Concordia, the only one that can't do anything about it. They just have to watch and find out.
Watch and hope that Southwestern give up another goal.
But it was a loss to Southwestern that put them in this position.
Yeah.
So
That game on Friday, Southwestern 3-1
3-1.
over Concordia. That's a huge game, season-changing game.
yeah, rough way to end the season for Concordia. Basically, both games, huge implications
Yep.
for the playoffs.
Yeah, you want to have those games spread out a little bit more.
Oh, Perryman clean through.
Ooh.
Right at the keeper who saves well.
It's a good opportunity. Went for power instead of placement. And I think in that occasion he'll end up regretting that. But
Yeah, I think against a keeper as good as Lutine,
Yeah.
you need to place it out of his reach. He's Guatemala under-17's goalkeeper. Well, I guess technically not anymore because he's over 17 now. But the most recent tournament, he was their goalkeeper. Just keep an eye. Challenge is that St. Thomas game still has 22 minutes to play as we hit the final minute here. Opportunity
There it is.
for Trinity. It's 4, which means they've beaten the average. Lovehart to the bench. And the crowd. Alex Bautov's second goal of the season and by extension his career for the first-year defender out of Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yeah, he gets his reward. He's been really good today, playing in a number of different roles.
A lot of space, and that's the example we were saying earlier. You've got to go for placement against Lutine. Placement works out. Second goal, I believe that's his first home goal. I think his other goal was scored away from home. So 4-0 for the Tigers, which means they beat the projection, which will help the NPI. Would not be surprised if Trinity go into the SCAC tournament with a single-digit number in their NPI number, which would potentially mean that SCAC have 2 teams with single-digit numbers, because Colorado College are 4 right now. Speaking of Colorado College of 4, they've stitched up this number 1 seed. Colorado College 4, Dallas 0 at halftime in that one. So Colorado College will be the number 1 seed. It's outside the box, though.
And they're going to have a chance to get a 5th from a free kick here.
So Colorado College 4-0 up. They're going to be the number 1 seed. As things stand, that would put them against Southwestern. Trinity will play TLU. And in the most heartbreaking circumstances, Concordia are out. Hey, look, hats off to Concordia. It's been a heck of a season for them. I think they deserve a lot of credit for what they've done this year. And remember, next year, Trinity's not here. That's a spot that opens up that I think Concordia could take massive advantage. The other game, St. Thomas and Austin, 1-1 still, so still enough. In fact, Southwestern have taken the lead, so that would be St. Thomas out.
Yep.
That would then put Southwestern...
Even if St. Thomas
Even
win.
if St. Thomas win, they would now be... Well, actually... They could now eliminate TLU. TLU goes down to 4. Shot comes!
Whoa.
Great save from Lutine again.
Too close. It's a really good effort. It's dipping. It's swerving. If he can just move that shot a little bit further to that right, to either side, honestly. But it's perfect. It's a perfect dip on it, just not the right placement, I think.
Southwestern score in the 87th minute. Who do you think the combination was?
Michael Grimm and Pinto, is that his?
Raghav Sharma.
Oh, Sharma, the defender.
Scores with an assist from Michael Grimm. So it is. Trinity's last SCAC regular season comes to an end. It's a 4-0 win. They will be in the playoffs. Trinity Tigers are the men's soccer regular season co-champions. They've won the title. They'll share it with Colorado College, the regular season title. Postseason titles to be determined. So right now, I'm just going to run you through where things are at right now. Still time for this to change. Pretty confident that Colorado College are the number 1 seed. Trinity are the number 2. So the question is who the matchups are for these 2 teams. We'll run you through it. Southwestern have taken the lead. So Southwestern will be the number 3 seed. So it'll be Trinity versus Southwestern, and it'll be TLU against Colorado College. As things stand, that all changes. There's still 19 minutes to go. If St. Thomas scores, they will be the number 3 seed. Southwestern will be the number 4, and both TLU and Concordia will go. We're going to have a look at the goals, though. We'll bring you that final in the women's game of the St. Thomas Austin game. Tom Whitwell. Just beautiful work for the corners today for Trinity. That'll be pleasing for Paul McGinley to see. And then a goal for Baltov, his second of his career. There's your final stats. 35 shots to 17 on target. Phenomenal goalkeeping from Lutine to keep it to 4. 12 saves, so he ends his season with 102 saves. 13 fouls to 9. Yeah, that's pretty even. Not many offsides, 2-1. 17 corners. They scored from 2 of them. Pretty impressive stuff from the Tigers. That's going to be a lot of momentum to take into the SCAC Championship next week. Stick around. We're going to be with you in about half an hour for the women's game, where they have already stitched up the regular season title. Everything's a bit easier on the women's side. The 4 teams we already know. It's just a matter of who's playing who in that first round. So we'll be back here in about half an hour to bring you the women's game. Stick with us.
Every morning, we rise, ready to meet our human potential, to take that next incremental step, to do the hard work that changes. Set in our preparedness and confidence in that moment when you know, I've got this. And then we rise. Each of us, all of us. We rise as passions coalesce in research, art, athletics, and beyond. We rise to the challenge of inquiry and discovery through undergraduate research and hands-on learning. We rise through the personal attention of a small college, fueled by large university resources. We rise to the need for listening across differences, teaching the art and the act of conversation. We rise to the sounds of a vibrant, diverse, and culturally rich city, and we reflect it. At Trinity University, we recognize that you are here because you are ready to rise. And through a love of learning and a life of learning, we will challenge you to always reach beyond the horizon. Because your future awaits.